Got it. Fine. So now, so we already know how to do the data reading. Let me just give a heading name as data reading, correct? And in this data reading, we will be using Python data frames. So first we will make the data, loaded in my data frame. So we always use spark.read. So first of all, you should let me know what type of data it is. If you double click, this is what type of table it is. Okay, this is of table. This is a delta table, if you remember, correct? Okay, first I should connect to my serverless computing, otherwise it will not read. Close this. Okay, okay, okay. So spark dot read dot format. This is the thing, and I am reading delta table. Okay, or it's already delta by default. It is delta. So let's type this as a table for delta, right? And under double quotes, what is our schema? What is our catalog? This is known as catalog. And in this catalog, we have branch schema, and within this branch schema, we have a region as a table. So if you have to simply read the delta table, we have to write a simple expression spark.read.tables. When you're writing table, automatically the system will understand this is a delta table, correct? Okay, then we will write adb underscore catalog. Okay, this is the, what is this? This is catalog. And inside catalog, we are having schema. Schema is a branch. So you will write branch and you are going to read with this table. This is regions, right? So you are reading regions. Okay, got it. Uh, oh, AD. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Okay, now if I have to display, I can display the data like this. Okay, or there are many ways of writing this. I can do this way also. df dot display. Okay, both are same. Okay, or if you want to just display first 5 rows or 10 rows, you can do like this. Limit 10. Okay, dot display. Okay, for example, if you have huge volume of data and if you will display, it will consume a lot of space and time. So you can use this also, right? So you can use anything, no problem. Okay, if you just execute it, it will display your data. Okay, so as you already know, we have something known as rescued data. And I have already explained you the concept of rescued data. This is kind of a reserved column. So if there is any change is happening, it means if there's any change or addition of new columns. So this rescued data will take care of that. Okay. Now, do you really want this data in our transformation layer? No, I don't want this data. So what I should do? I should drop this column. How to drop this column? Right. So let's just create dropping column. Okay, make it bold. Okay, and execute it. Right. So how to drop the column? So very simple. Df equals to df is a data frame. Then df dot, because you have already read this file under data frame. So you can do the operation. You can drop this column from df. So it's very simple. You can just type df dot drop. Okay, it is giving me the suggestions. And you have to just give the name of the column like rescued underscore data. You know why, how it is giving the suggestion? Because this is a world of AI. So what is happening? The moment you just made this, dropping column as a text, so he knows that next statement you will write to drop the data. Which drop data you will write? So that's why it's suggesting this option. Okay, got it? Okay, if you want to see the schema, so you can just write print schema. So print schema will tell you how many columns it is left. It will give you the structure. Okay, so let's drop the column and see the schema. So you can see now it is having only two columns, region ID and region after dropping, right? So this is the way to draw, print the structure. Now we have successfully dropped the column. Do you want to do any further transformation in it? No, I think everything is fine. The only thing we have done is to drop. Now, what is the activity? We have to write the data. Where we should write the data? We should write the data in which container? Silver container, right? So this is the container. Right now we don't have any container, right? So what we should do? We should write the data, but we should save this data as a delta table if I want. Okay, right? Okay. So how to do that? Okay, let me create a text, and text is data writing, data writing or data write, no problem. Anything you can consider. Okay, and oh, okay. Mm, right. Okay, that's it. How to write the data? Simple. df dot write. Okay, because we are writing the data. Okay, and we are writing the data. So basically, the first thing we have to specify the format. In which format I'm writing the data? Am I writing in Parquet? Am I writing in delta as a delta table? Okay, so basically, I'm writing it as a delta table. Okay, so first thing we have to specify is format. Then I can use this forward slash because I want to make the statement complete in next line. I have to move to the next line. Okay, this backward slash, not forward slash, right? Dot. Then the second thing we have to specify is mode. What will be the mode of the data, right? So there are two modes: append mode and overwrite mode. Okay, so because this is a delta table and this is a master data table, right? So imagine we are not having so much of data coming within this table. So region is very less number of data. So better make it override. So every time when the data is coming from the source, it will override. Okay, instead of appending, it should override. Override. The meaning of override. Okay, it will override the data every time. Okay, then mode is override, and then once the mode is override, what we should specify where we have to save this data. Okay, so we will write this save. Okay, and why we have not, because our data is already there in the data frame, right? You have seen this is the data, correct? Or if you want to see the data right now within the data frame, let me first add a code. And how to see the data? Very simple. df.display. Okay, you can see the data, right? So this is the data we already have. So no need to specify the source location. So we are just writing this data in a delta table. Okay. And that delta table should be, so this delta table is already there, right? This delta table is already there. Correct. But this is in the bronze layer. Correct. Fine. Where I'm trying to write the data. I'm trying to write the data in a silver layer, right? So I'm, because this is already in a delta format, right? So I cannot convert and make this as a Parquet format. Making sense? This is already in a delta format, this one, right? So I can only write the data in delta format. And that delta format, I can make it overwrite because this is having every time data will be overwrite. Where I have to save. So I have to save my data here in this location. Making sense? Table in this location. So you know what is this? This is Azure Blob Storage, correct? So what we can do, we can write ABFSS. ABFSS stands for Azure Blob File Storage System, something like that, right? And I have to specify the what is the first thing? What is this? This is your name of container. What is the name of the container? If you see, the name of container is silver, and this is the name of your storage account, right? So what I should mention? I have to specify silver. Okay. And what is the storage account? SSACL, right? So then dfs dot core dot windows dot net. Okay. And then what folder I want to create? I want to create folder name as regions, right? Then close. Okay. Why it is showing this as an error? Okay, this showing this as an error because I have not, made this one. Okay. Now, simple. Now we can execute and this will be written. The data will be written. Okay. The data is written. And if you want to see, you can go inside and you can see, right? The folder is created and within this folder, this data is generated. Okay, fine. So even if you are using delta table, it will, redirect the data in Parquet format. Okay, because you are writing in a Azure Blob Storage. Okay, okay, got it. Now, what is next? Can we read this data? Yes, we can read this data. Very simple. What we will do, we will use this df.spark.read, right? And what is the format of read? The format will be delta because we have written the delta table, and that's, and from where you have to read, you have to read from load. What is the location? This is the location. So it's already giving me the suggestion, so I'm accepting the suggestion. Okay, fine, clear. So it will give me the, I can read the data simply. So this time I'm reading from this location, right? So very simple data activity in a silver layer we have used. Okay. So this has completed the our silver layer because no more transformation we need to perform in a silver layer. So what we can do, we can just go to workspace once again. Okay, and it is auto saved. No need to save it. I can create another notebook, and this time this notebook will be for other tables. Okay, and we can create the silver layer for, you can say, customer, products, or orders, whatever. So let's create it for customers. Okay, so okay. So basically, let me connect to the computer source. Okay, now again, because we are doing transformations, and if we have to do the transformation, the first thing what we should do is we should import the SQL functions and types. SQL functions and types. Okay. Why? Because as most of the time we are using SQL method like select. We are using some functions, right? So better to import any SQL functions or types, or leave it. Whenever it is required, we will add that code. Okay. So now again, we are dealing the data with customer. So let's first see if data is available in branch layer for customer or not. So in my branch layer, we have a customer, and within this customer data is available, and we have 2000 customers, good number of customers. So in this one we can do more transformation opportunities, right? So how to read the data from this branch layer? Very simple. We can just try to read the data. So I'm making this data reading. 1 second. Okay. And how to read the data? Same. Spark read. Spark dot read. Okay. And what is the format? This is a Parquet format. If you see, this is the Parquet format because we have loaded the data in a Parquet format. Okay, so we will just use this double quote Parquet format. Okay, and then let's give the load. Load will give you the path. So this is the path. So you know what you have to write. You have to write abfss colon double forward slash, and you are reading from branch layer, right? So branch at the rate SSSCL is my storage account dot dfs.o.windows.net. Okay, I did a mistake. I just pressed comma .net, and then I am reading from which folder? I am reading from customers folder, right? If you see, we have this is under the customers folders, right? So I should copy this name because I don't want to commit any mistake. Okay, customers. So I'm just pasting customers, right? So if I have to read, then okay, what I can do, I can write that df.display. Okay, df.display or display.df, whatever it is, whatever gives you more comfortable, you can write it, right? So you can see this is the way you can read the data. Okay. Oh, it's saying indentation error. Do you know what is why indentation error? Because see, so Python is very sensitive to this error. And why? Because if you write this df equals to, this is within this code. So everything which is written will become equals to. So you have to just, you know, so, so the meaning is it should not be space. It should be from the beginning of the line at the same length. Okay. You can see, you can display the result is coming. Okay, fine. So in total we have 2000 records. Okay, 2000 rows. And if you see the columns, again this rescued column came into picture. Let me increase this space. So do you want this rescue column? The first thing is, let's drop this rescue column. Okay, so what you will write? Oh, you will just use the same df equals to df dot drop. Okay, he knows. Underscore rescued underscore data, right? So I'm simply dropping this column. Okay, and if I want to display the schema, print schema, right? I can use this print schema just to check whether my rescued column is dropped or not, right? You can see, all the column and rescued column is dropped now. Fine, right? Easy. Okay, now what we should do, we want to let's have a look in the data and see what we can do. Okay. You can see you have this data, customer ID, first name, last name, email ID. Okay. If you see the email ID, and imagine you want to find out some domain name. Like this is Gmail, this is a Google email ID, this is a Yahoo email ID, this is Campbell. So these are domain name. Now, how we can extract the data? So basically, we want to do some kind of string operation. Do you know about string operation? So basically, we have a string, and within this string, we can do some kind of operation. So calculating domain, we want to calculate the domain, find out the domain. Okay, so let me just give this okay, this way. Uh, Domain name. Okay, say like that. How to find the domain name? With the help of split. Okay, so we are going to create a new column basically. So new column I want to add, and this column will be of type string. Okay, and basically we will do some kind of split and blah blah activities, right? So we have to import the libraries, otherwise many functions it will not understand. So we have to import the SQL functions and types. So this is what I have mentioned. We have to import SQL function and type to use any such kind of thing. So let me, okay, I should wait. Okay, if I have to import, what I should do, I should write import, then PySpark. So in this PySpark, we have SQL functions, SQL. Okay, okay, okay. Or else we can write from import actually from PySpark. From PySpark dot SQL SQL dot functions. Okay, then import. Let's import everything. Put asterisks. Similarly, from PySpark. Okay, dot SQL types. This time SQL types. Then import all the data types. Okay, so you should run this. It is done, right? So you have imported all the SQL functions. Now you can easily use split function or any other things like with column. Okay, so to create a new column within the data, what you need, you have to do, you have to use with column state. Okay, so it will be very easy. You can use like df is equals to df dot with column. Once again, yeah, with column. Okay, and you want to create domain name, right? So domain. Okay, then you have to specify how you are calculating the domain name. How you will calculate? You will use a split, because if you see the data, you have this data email. So within this column, if you split the data, okay, with the help of at the rate, you would be able to find the domain name. And after splitting the data, right, what you have to do? You have to specify the array number. So basically the first value, so at the rate, you will split with the help of at the rate. So the position of at the rate will be 0, r will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So you want to see the data starting from first, not from 0, from first, right? So what you will do? So we have to understand the concept of a split. So you have to use a split, and then within this split, you are doing a split for which column? For column email. So you will write call. Then you will write email, right? And within this email, now this column is defined, right? So you have successfully defined the column, and now you will split with the help of which string? You are using at the rate to split. Okay, so this is how you have defined this at the rate. Okay, now, okay, and you have to specify array number. So you want return of first array. from first you want to return the values, right? Simple. Okay. Array should always be in a square bracket. This is the universal concept. So we will write display. Let's see. Actually, I should not display the 2000 records every time, but it's okay. You can see domain is created. So it has split with the help of this string that you have given, and it is giving value starting from 1 till end. You can see, right? So domain name is has created with the help of a split. So this is how we have done our new column with the help of split. Okay. So we are doing the data transformation or cleaning, whatever you can do, right? Now, very good. Now we want to, we can do some kind of aggregation function also. How to do some kind of aggregation function, right? For example, we have created a domain. We can find out how many users we have for yahoo.com, how many customer we have for gmail.com, how many customer we have for rayan.org or kelly.org. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to count the customer in this aggregation function. We are trying to count the customer like this on the basis of, we want to count the customer on the basis of domain, right? But uh, we need to count the customer on the basis of domain. So when we are doing aggregation function, this is known as aggregation. You know what is aggregation? So the concept of aggregation is summing, sum, count, max, min, average. Okay. So if you have, for example, okay, let's have this data, right? Why I need to explain you, because this is very important topic. It will be used everywhere. So you should know the basic concept behind this. So if you have a product, okay, we have a product P1 in a simple. Okay, okay. We have two products only, P2. Okay, right. And we have some sales value, sales. Okay, or we have some numbers, number of items, something like that. Correct. We have some COGS, cost of goods. Okay. Now you will get to know what I'm trying to say. Correct. Okay. Very interesting. Now, if I tell you what is the total sales of product P1, what you will do? We will do aggregation. We will sum the product, sum the sales. Okay. And we will do group by group, because we have a two groups only. Right now, how many groups we have? We have two groups. Either it will be P1 or P2, right? So we want to see what is the sale of P1 and what is the sale of P2. Because if you see this data, you would be able to understand the concept of group by. Okay, so we have only two groups. One is P1 and other is P2. So if you want to see the total sale, so this time you will do sum of sales, right? So your aggregation column will be, you can name this aggregation column as total sales. But what is the formula behind the total sale? It will be sum of the total sale. And group by column will become your product, right? So whenever we do the aggregation, we should give a calculation, and calculation will definitely on the basis of numerical transactional value, right? Can you do a calculation in alpha in my name or any alphabet? No. Calculation can only be done with the help of numerical value. So aggregation will only be for aggregation. There should be some numerical value or some transactional figure, right? So we have a sales is a transactional figure. Number of item purchase is a transactional figure. Cost of goods is a transactional figure. Correct? So if you want to see the total sales, you will have to do sum of sales and you have to group by product. You might be having n number of other columns like customer, region, material type, so on. No problem. But you have to see what is your expectation. You want to see the total sale product wise. In the same manner, you want to see the count of items this time. Count of items purchased product wise. How many, what is the count for P1 group and P2 group? So this time, this will become count of products, count of item, right? This count of item. And if you see maximum cost of goods and minimum cost of goods, or average cost of goods, or minimum cost of goods. So this is a best example to demonstrate you how to find the aggregate function. So let's now create the aggregate function. Okay, how to create the aggregate function? Let me first write down the concept aggregate function. Okay, and basically we are trying to create an aggregate. So when we have to create an aggregate in a simple manner, what we will do, we will use group by and aggregate. First we will define the group by column, right? So what will be our group by column? What we are trying to do, first of all, we are trying to find out the count of customer based on domain, right? Based on domain, correct? So tell me one thing very clearly. In this table, do you have any numerical value? We don't have numerical value, but still we can do aggregation. We can do the count. We can count the people, right? And how to count the people? We can have a column name as customer ID, and customer ID will be unique. Correct? Okay. Customer ID will be, there will be no repetition of customer ID. This is unique. So if I count the customer ID, so count, I can do count of this customer ID, correct? And my group by column will be domain, the column which I created. So first I will define the group by, and then I will write domain. Okay. And then, okay, this group by is defined. Now I will put dot. Okay, then I will specify the aggregation column. What aggregation function I want to do? I want to count. If you think you don't have, you can have multiple values, multiple entries, then you can use count distinct also. But in my case, I know it is not multiple, but I'm using count. So I'm counting which element, which column I am counting. Am I counting everything? No, I'm not counting. I'm no, I'm counting customer ID, right? Domain is your group by column. So I am counting customer ID. So what I will do, I will write this customer underscore ID. Okay, done. Then I will name this column. Obviously, I will name this column as a total customer. Okay. So I am just giving alias. So if you have to rename anything, you have to use this word alias. Okay. Then it is total underscore customer, and this is very easy. Okay, if you create the column in any other technology like this, right, it will be, so I can make this like customers because we can have multiple customers, right? So, okay, so this bracket, okay, this bracket I have to, this bracket is closed. No, 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 this is, uh, right. Right. Okay, then I can end this here also, but I want to short. Why I want to short? Because I want to see which all domain is having more number of customers. For example, if I see Gmail is having more number of customers using gmail.com, correct? So how I can do that? If I make the order descending, what will happen? The values having higher count will come first, then lower count. So what I should do now, I should sort it. So I will write this sorting, okay, and then I will do the sorting on the basis of total customer, which I create just now, find out. So if you want to descend it, you can write this descending order, okay, or the best way to do this, so anything is okay, right? So best way to do this, I'm just making this using this customer total customer which I created just now, and I am just supplying ascending as false. If it means it will show me descending order. Okay, that's all. And then I will display the data. Okay, I can display data. Why is missing? Okay, if I am displaying the data like this, I should put dot, or if I'm making like this, what I should do, I should put df dot display, something like that. Okay, both are okay. Okay, now let's see. Okay, okay, no, sorry. Okay, because this is not assigned to df. Okay, that's why. Otherwise, let's if I want to display the result as of now, okay, let's display the result of this expression first. Instead of writing the data, the best thing is that let's see the display. Okay, so if I trigger this, okay, you can see, right? So Gmail is having so many users, Hotmail is having so many users, and this has satisfied. So total we have 15 domains. Now, if you have to write this data, I mean, if you have to append this column, what you should do? You can make equal to this, okay, data frame. Okay, right. So you can just make this thing. Okay, try to do here. Let's do here. Df equals to, okay, and just remove this dot here from here, okay, and then use this df dot display. Correct? I think so. It's correct. But let me try. No, it's not correct. It is not correct. Okay, it should be ended with this column. Okay. Okay, no. I did a mistake. Okay, because now this entire data frame is written with the two columns only. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so let me rerun this. Let me rerun this from. Okay. I should not assign this to the data frame. Okay. I was just showing this to you. Okay. Let me rerun all. Okay. I don't want to, override the data frame. Okay. So I'm just demonstrating you how to build the aggregate functions. As of now, I don't want this aggregate function to be created. Okay. Now, if I want similar thing, if I want the state wise, what I should do? Do we have anything, any data which is having state or not? Oh, city is there, right? State is there. So same, in a same, let's copy the same and use the same thing to find out the state wise count of the people. How to do that? Simple. What we will do, we will use the state, correct? And this time, then it's okay. I don't know if the state is correct. Yeah, state is correct. You can see state wise. Okay, count. Easy, right? And in case if we want to apply filter for the top domains, so you have a domain. Okay, apply filter on top domains. So who are the top domains? We have Gmail and I think Hotmail. I don't right. So how to apply the filter? Correct. So we can apply the filter with the help of filter command. For example, if I want to create this time, I can create a new thing. Okay. Okay. So let me create a new data frame df underscore gmail equals to df dot filter simple, and I'm trying to apply in which column. The system will automatically tell you, okay, this will not let you commit mistakes, equals to Gmail. You just have to give the instruction and it will work like an AI. Okay. Similarly, if you want to, okay, then if you want to see the data, how you can see the data? Dot display. If I copy this code and replicate for other domains, I can do that, right? Instead of writing it again and again, correct? What I can do, I can make it for Yahoo. Yahoo.com. Okay. Similarly, I can do it for Hotmail. Can do it for Hotmail. Something like that. Okay. Now let's trigger. So if I trigger this will show you three datasets. This will only show you for Gmail. This will only show you for Yahoo. This will only show you for, you know, Hotmail. Okay. But at the same time, everything has shown, correct? If you want to, if you want to give a delay of 5 seconds, how to do that? You can do that as well. So for this, we will import time. There is some function known as import time. So we will be using import time here. Okay. And we will give a sleep time. Sleep time means it will wait for that much after completion. After completion. So let's wait for 5 minutes, 5 seconds. After completion of this, let wait for time dot sleep. 5 seconds. Okay. That's right here also. Time dot sleep. 5 seconds. Correct. Now, if I execute this, it will first give the results of first section and it is waiting. See, okay. So you can see the runtime. Okay. Okay. Got it. The last one we can also create a new name, right? Like we have first name and last name. So if we concatenate both the names, we can create a full name, right? So let's create a full name. Create a create full name. It is also simple, correct? How to create the full name? We will use concat function. So df equals to df dot with column and bracket. Then we will be giving what we want to create. We want to create full name, right? Let's create a full name. How to create a full name? We will be using concat and we will concat for first name, first, okay, first underscore name, okay, and then after first name we want some space, otherwise both name will be merged, right? So what we should do, we should use lit for any symbol, any space, any value. So in lit we are giving a space and then double quotes space, and then we will use the third concatenation column is last name. So I think L is small. Let me check. L is capital or small. L is a small, right? L underscore name. Okay. Now remember, if we have created this full name, do we need first name and last name again? So this is the best practice. If you don't need that column, let's drop that column, right? And drop. Okay. I'm dropping the both the columns. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to display the column. Now this time I want to make some more interesting thing. I want to display only 10 records. Okay. Is it fine? So what it will do? It will create the full name. Oh, okay. There might be some mistake. Okay, what's the mistake? Okay, there are some double quotes I have missed. Fine. And it has dropped the column and you can see the full name is created. domain is there. Now my data is looking more clean and more less number of columns we have. We have only relevant columns. Got it? Now finally, we have done most of the things as it being a transformation. But before wrapping this up, what we should do, we should write this data. Otherwise, this data frame is of no use, right? How to write the data? We will write the data in a as a delta table in our silver container, right? So what we should do is data writing, and we need to use this command df.write. Okay, okay. And which format we are writing? We are writing in a format of data. No, we are writing in silver. We will always use. See, ultimately the system will, you know, write this data within Parquet format only. If it is ABFSS, understand this concept. If it is a Azure data lake, it will write in a Parquet format. But when we have to create catalog also, right? We have to create our bronze layer. Similarly, we will be creating a silver layer. Okay, and within that silver layer, it will we will be creating in a delta format. Correct. There is a no Parquet format mentioned over here, right? Correct. So what we should do, we should write in a delta format. Okay. And after that, we will use mode. What mode of write it will be? It will be overwrite mode, because I'm not going to append the file. Why I'm not going to append the file? Because this is a master data, right? So any data is coming, let's use this override. Okay. Then dot save, where I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this um, in my silver layer. Correct. This is my, where is my silver layer? This is my silver layer, right? So in the silver layer, I am only having regions. So similarly, I want to create for customers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type abfss column double forward slash, and then I want to write in a silver layer at the rate SSAs. I think SSACL is the, yeah, SSACL is my container dot dfs dot core dot windows dot net, and then forward slash customer. Customer is the folder name which I am going to create. Correct. So this will help me to write the data over there. Correct. I will simply execute it. Oh, the mistake is I did not added these double quotes in a hurry. But if you're writing the code by yourself, it will give you confidence and experience both. So if you are facing the errors, it means you can easily do that. Okay. So now if I refresh this, you can see customer folder has created and Parquet file is also there. Okay. Although we have created a delta table, but now when it is loaded within the storage account, it will be saved as a Parquet format. Okay. Now coming to uh, this is done, but we don't have a schema right now, right? We don't have a table, we don't have a schema. So we should create the delta table here also. How to create that? Simple. Let me just create a duplicate. Oh, okay, no problem. Let me go there in a catalog. This is my catalog. If I click on this catalog, I will get an option to create a schema. Okay, this is one of the options. Or else I can create from here also, and I can create with the help of code also. So creating from directly from UI is very easy. I just want to give you the experience of creating from code as well, right? Uh, so what I should do? Okay. So finally, we are creating a schema. So let me first write mm, something which can use create schema, right? So how to create a schema? Very simple. We can use SQL. Okay, we can write percentage SQL. In SQL, the very simple command is there, and that is known as create schema. And where we want to create the schema, we want to create the schema. Um, we can use this if not exists also. If not exist, it's a best practice. Okay, or we can simply create schema like inside our catalog. So first of all, we should see we already have our catalog. Within this catalog, we want to create a schema, right? Dot silver means we want to create the schema with the name silver. Okay, and if you want to use if not exist, you can use that if not exist, right? Okay, so if it is exist, it will not create. Okay, so let me first run this command without using if not exist because it will not make any difference. Okay, so when I hit this, we can wait. So the moment it is getting completed, you can refresh it and you can just drill down. You can see silver schema has created. Correct? Now, if you run this, it will fail, saying that it's already exists, right? So now you can, if you're running by typing if not exist, okay, then it will not throw an error. It will neither create the schema nor throw an error also. Okay, fine. So you don't have anything within this silver schema. So what you should do? You should create a delta table. Okay, within this schema. How to create the delta table? We just create delta table in schema. Correct. Create a make one making it block bold. Okay. So I can use simple SQL statement also. Let's first use simple SQL statement, and this is nothing but a create table. Okay. Again, same thing. If not exist, mm, if not exist, okay, and where I want to create the table adb underscore cat is my catalog, and within this I'm having a schema silver, and I want to create with the name as customer underscore silver, something like that. Okay, so that I can identify. Okay, now this I am okay, I can define also column, but now I'm not defining the column because I want that whatever data we have in this location, it should copy the schema as well as data, right? And create the table. So instead of giving any definition, what I will do, I will use keyword name as using delta table, using delta. Why using delta? Because this is of delta nature. This is a kind of delta table only. So I will be using this keyword using delta. Okay. And this is known as I have covered you about CTAS. CTAS is a create table as select, right? But I don't have to create table as select because I don't have a table, existing table. I am having a this this file is having delta table, right? So what I will do using delta, and here I will specify location. Simple. Location of this. What is the location of this? The location is very simple. In a single code, I can write ABFSS, right? Uh, the same way we have a silver at the rate, okay, and we have SSACL, okay, dot DFS, dot core, dot Windows, dot net, and in that net we have to go inside the customers. Let me see if it is customer or customers. It is customers, right? So that's why I always used to copy instead of writing by myself. Right? This is customers, right? So what this command will do, this command will create a delta table within this location, right? And how it is creating the delta table? By copying the delta table which we already created in our data lake, right? So we can execute this. So finally it's done. It's going to be complete very soon. And at the moment it will complete, we can refresh and see that table is displaying here, right? Still running. So what it is doing, it is taking the schema level information from here and creating the table and then inserting the data from this. Okay. And the same way, if you want to make the table available in the branch layer, because in a branch you have only region table. If you want, you can make it available for customer. You want to make it available for product. The reason why I'm not putting it here, because unnecessary, it will increase the space, right? But in ideal scenario, we have to do that. Okay. I'm using the free Azure account, so I don't want to, store more data inside this, right? Because this is an ingested layer, raw data, right? But the same way you can create for others table within the branch layer. Still running, it's connected. I don't know why it's taking so much of time. Ideally, it should not take. Maybe it is a SQL statement. I think I have done everything right. Yes. So finally, table is created, query is successful. It took like 2 minutes 39 seconds. We can refresh this and we can see our table is there with the name as customer underscore silver. Okay. Now, if we have this data, customer underscore silver, can we read this data? Yes. How we can read this data? This is a table. This is a simple delta table. Now, to read this data in a simple delta table, we can use Python, we can use SQL, whatever you need, you can use it, right? You can use like percentage SQL. Let's do it by SQL. Okay. Then we have select a star from, okay, then table. So basically, what's the location of the table? ADB underscore cat. This, and inside this, we need to go inside our schema, and within this schema, we will be going inside the table. We will execute it. It will give me all the data within this customer. And this data is clean data, transformed data. Okay. So it will be having very limited columns which will be required. Okay. You can see. So this is having customer ID, email ID, city, state, domain, and full name. That's it. Okay. So this has completed the exercise of writing data for customer. Okay. Similarly, we have to write the data for products. We have to write the data for orders that we are going to discuss in our next session. Okay, next video. Thank you.